AITA for calling my baby's mother petty for not letting me be in the delivery room? I am not the OOP. OOP is you, throwaway 6030. AITA for calling my baby's mother petty for not letting me be in the delivery room? Originally posted to r, am I the asshole, and r, Amy wrong. Trigger warning. Mention of infidelity. Emotional manipulation. Less than. Mood spoiler. You reap what you sow. Frustrating. Less than. Thanks to you, check the boxes for suggesting these posts. And you, Choice Evidence 1983 for helping recover one of the posts. Original post August 10, 2021. My ex and I were engaged but broke it off early into her pregnancy. We had a lot of issues. But our breakup was precipitated by her catching me sexting people behind her back and a couple of flings. Overall, we have kept it amicable through her pregnancy, but I definitely wouldn't call us friends. I called to check on her since she is due within the next month and asked what the plan for delivery was. I guess I assumed I would be in the room when the baby is being born. She told me due to COVID precautions she is only allowed one person with her while she is in the hospital, and she's going to have her best friend with her that I could meet the baby once she gets home. I got angry and told her it was petty and vindictive to not allow me in the room to witness our child's birth. She snapped back and told me she needs someone who brings her comfort and she can be vulnerable with, and that's not me. AITA for calling her petty in this situation? Edit to add. Since these have been questioned in the comments, I cheated on her. Yes, some of it was before she was pregnant. She broke it off cause she caught me sexting when we were laying in bed one night and then found all the other stuff. We ended on the note we would try to be friends for the baby. We were going to try to go to counseling and see if we could fix things and work it out for the baby, but then she caught me in a lie. Not cheating again, but related to lying, trying to minimize her hurt due to what I'd done. And she cut me off completely, other than giving me updates after each appointment and inviting me to a 3D ultrasound. It's been entirely her choice to not be friends. Her best friend hasn't even been around for her pregnancy since she's been traveling for work. She's only coming back now to help with labor and recovery, then leaving again. Last. Part of why I feel it's pettiness motivating her choices is cause she is using COVID as a reason to keep my family from meeting the baby. She told me she thinks only my parents should meet her until she gets a bit older and wants them to wear masks. But she's still working as a nurse, getting exposed to COVID daily, so how is it really that much of a concern to her? I feel like it's about control over the baby. Verdict. Asshole. Update 1 AITA for refusing to cover part of my ex-fiance's hospital bills October 14, 2021. Recovered with Reddit October 14, 2021. My ex and I broke up early in her pregnancy. We've remained somewhat amicable. We had a couple fights about me not being in the delivery room but have been okay since. She had our baby about 4 weeks ago, and I told her to keep me updated on any hospital bills she might get because I would pay half. I was visiting the baby and my ex brought out the bills. Typical stuff. The baby's pediatrician and her delivery. After insurance, it was going to cost us about $1,000 each. Then she pulled out a bill for an anesthesiologist, and when I asked what that was about, since she didn't have a C-section, she said it was for her epidural during labor. I kind of chuckled and told her she was on her own for that bill, which was $900 on its own, almost the cost of everything else. She asked me if I was being serious, and I confirmed I wouldn't pay that portion. That was her choice to get an epidural. It wasn't essential to her safely delivering the baby, and plenty of women have given birth without one. She told me I was being ridiculous and that, if you could feel how being in labor felt, you wouldn't be questioning getting pain relief at all. She stayed pretty silent and cold with me until I left. I talked to my mom after the fact and she thinks I'm in the right. She had me and my siblings without anything. I think I might be the asshole though, because when I talked to my sister about it she said pain relief can make or break your experience. So, AITA for refusing to pay this additional expense? Verdict. Removed before verdict rendered. Update 2 AITA for telling my baby's mother she only breastfeeds to keep me from having visitation December 2nd, 2021. My ex and I have a baby who is almost 3 months. I come and visit her at my ex's home for 3 hours at a time once or twice a week. I've been itching to get alone time with the baby so we can bond better. But she breastfeeds only, won't take a bottle and won't take formula. I've tried numerous times to get baby to eat the bottle so I can have visits at my place with her. But she just screams all through her pregnancy. My ex said she might try breastfeeding but wasn't sure. Then COVID got bad again, and because of her job, she's a nurse. She freaked out and wanted baby to have antibodies since she's vaccinated and has also had COVID before. Right now the baby won't smile at me like she does for her mom. In fact, over the last few visits, as soon as I hold her it's instant waterworks. My ex tries to stay out of our way or only come out of her room when the baby is hungry, but that doesn't make any difference. Out of frustration I handed the baby back to my ex and raised my voice a bit, saying basically that our current arrangement isn't working and I want my visits with the baby at my place. My ex asked how that would even work since she won't eat from me, and I said to her, we both know you only breastfed to keep me from her in the first place. She'll figure it out. Part of the frustration also comes from the fact that none of my family has met my child yet. My ex offered to host them in her home, but my mom is a homebody and won't drive there. In addition to them living an hour away, my ex started crying after I said that and told me she refuses to let our baby starve for my fragile ego, and I'll have to fight her in court, which she was trying to avoid for the sake of the baby. Part of why I think I'm the asshole is because if the baby truly won't eat for me she'll be miserable. But everyone in my family reassures me that if she gets hungry enough she'll eat. And I'm convinced my ex breastfed in the first place to make visit harder for me. So AITA? Verdict. Removed before verdict rendered. Update 3 AITA for refusing to pay half of childcare June 29, 2022. I have an infant child, almost 1, that I co-parent with my ex. We went to a mediator rather than the courts to come up with our parenting plan. Our current arrangement is I take her for 4 hours 3 times a week. My ex has her the rest of the time. We went through mediation and agreed on no child support, but that we would split 50-50 expenses for her. The issue came up when my ex asked for half her childcare expenses. Her sister watches the baby on the nights she works. She's a nurse and works 3 nights a week. And when she sleeps, I don't always take the baby when my ex is sleeping from working the night before. So for the last month I guess it came out to $200. I told my ex that I wouldn't pay it. She was responsible for paying for the childcare when she has the baby. She got upset and told me it was in the parenting plan for 50-50 and that this month was higher because I worked all the days she worked and that it fluctuates based on when I'm able to take the baby. I then got upset and told her that I'd take her for 50-50 and I wanted to know every penny she made, what she spent on my child with receipts, unless she agreed to a set amount in writing for how much I'm actually obligated each month. When I called the mediator and demanded a change on our paperwork, she acted shocked because of all we had agreed on previously. So I'm wondering if I'm an asshole. I'm pissed because she's playing games with me and my kid. TLDR, baby mama wants half of childcare expenses even though I don't need childcare for my time with her. Verdict. Removed before verdict rendered. Update 4. Am I wrong for telling my ex that my daughter shouldn't have certain clothes restricted to her house? September 1st, 2023. My ex and I have a toddler together. We haven't been together since before she was born, and we split all expenses 50-50. My ex usually buys whatever the baby needs. Shows me the items she got and the receipt, and I'll send her my portion of it. Most of her clothes are from Target or similar stores. My ex often sends me pictures of my daughter since she has her more. I've noticed since she was born that she's got some super cute clothes sometimes in really pretty prints that I've never seen before and weren't part of what we purchased. If I repost the picture to my social media, people always ask where her clothes are from. I asked my ex where they come from, and she said she buys some boutique-type bamboo clothes that are like $40 an outfit. I asked her why the baby never comes over here with those clothes, because I feel like the fact that I split clothing costs is unfair since I don't have access to all her clothes. My ex said I've ruined countless clothes because I don't baby her and put a bib on. I let her be a kid, and she spends her own money on the clothing she likes for our daughter, and I'm not entitled to clothes I haven't paid for. I told my ex she's being a bad parent by restricting clothing to only her home, and our daughter will feel bad about it. My ex then said, if you want her to have the same clothes I get, you're welcome to purchase them yourself. TLDRX buys toddler expensive clothes. Won't let me have those clothes in my house, I only get the cheap stuff. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. Wow, what a colossal asshole. No concept of anyone besides me. No one is this clueless. There's simply no way someone comes back to Reddit to whine again and again after every verdict. Our breakup was precipitated by her catching me sexting people behind her back and a couple of flings. No hun. The breakup was precipitated by you being a cheater. Edit. Jesus. It gets way worse. What a piece of work. Jesus. Op is a complete a-hole. First he cheats and then goes to throw a temper tantrum about everything while all double downing himself even further deep into the hole. The ex deserves better than having to deal with this a-hole. Every update I read, I just felt sorry for the poor woman who was stuck co-parenting for life with this selfish turd of a human being. He did the wrong thing at every turn. Everyone, pour one out for this poor woman, who has to co-parent with this douchebag for another 16 years. And then still be stuck at big events for years thereafter. It's gonna be a grind. This has got to be a troll, right? We had a lot of issues, but our breakup was precipitated by her catching me sexting people behind her back and a couple of flings. I was at fuck this guy. Literally 2 sentences into the first post. He's such a cheap and selfish bastard but wants everything. I'm so sorry that this girl had that garbage's baby. Well, if it isn't the cloth that all the red flags come from. Wow. These posts were written by the actual devil himself. No remorse. No self-reflection. Not one single ounce of growth. Some men really do have absolutely nothing but the audacity. It would have been easier to just go through the court. It protects everyone and gives actual consequences when someone like this asshole disregards orders constantly. I wonder what the child support calculation would be. It seems like splitting expenses 50-50 with no support isn't fair, considering she's housing and feeding the child all but a few hours a week. It's wild that one person could make a series of posts asking if they're the asshole, are definitely the asshole literally every single time, and still post to ask if they're the asshole. This dude needs to change his mindset and start realizing that whenever he feels the need to post on Reddit about a scenario, he is being an asshole. Yikes. Can you imagine being tied to that man due to, given his personality, what was likely 23 minutes of terrible sex? Am I the only one who read this and assumed it was actually written by the mom after every time she had to deal with her ex? What was the part when his family basically said, let the baby starve, it will eat if hungry enough? Mother was breastfeeding deliberately or something to keep him away. Now he's bitching about clothes? This guy is the worst. I feel so sorry that his ex has to deal with him for at least the next 18 years. Just when I think this guy can't get any worse, along comes his next post.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.